Hey, Mar.
Andrew!
What's going on? You get divorced again, I heard?
Yeah, I did.
Want to talk about it?
Yeah, I do.
All right, ready?
Here we go.
Welcome.
Do?
The
Happy?
Never
After.
Pod.
Podcast is one word.
I know, but that's why it's funny.
Welcome to the Happy Never After podcast. We are your hosts, Mara Merrick and
Andrew Collin.
And Marshy's over there on the couch.
On the ones and twos.
What's happening? What's the ones and twos?
I don't know. It's
What?
something.
It's a DJ term.
Yeah.
On the
DJ
ones
over
and
there
twos.
in the ones and twos.
I don't know what that means.
It's the one record and the second record. Okay.
How you doing, Marshall?
That's from
Doing
your
all right.
time, because now there's no ones and twos. Now it's just all
Oh, yeah.
Max.
Now it's all DJ
Yeah.
Skrillex.
I know what the fuck that was about. I'm not a DJ guy.
Yeah, never been a DJ.
No, I'm not even about sound at all.
I just like sitting in the silence and thinking about my
Be
thoughts.
myself, being a New Yorker.
Yeah, it's being a
Just
strong
being a strong New
New
Yorker.
York. You don't need music.
We don't need no fucking music.
What music? And all I want to hear is the horns from a fucking bus. Because I'm New York.
And maybe the wind and my long curly ass hair, all right?
You hear they're changing the sounds of the sirens, right?
To what? To fucking Bruce Springsteen?
If it ain't the boss, I don't want
I don't want to hear it. Screen door slam. Screen door slam.
Shut up,
Screen
we
door,
have
screen
to
door.
pay for it.
Screen
Spotify, we're
door.
gonna have to pay for it.
Who has to pay for it?
If you pay it, nothing. We just fucking
No, yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Screen
Don't worry
door slam.
We don't have no fucking screen doors in New York.
Yeah.
No, it's we're gonna go European, I think so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's better. I fucking hate the sirens. I'm the guy that I'll cover my ears. I'm a little bitch. I don't give a fuck.
You do?
Yeah, some people
Yeah.
are like, if you cover your ears, you don't fuck right or whatever. It's like, yeah, right.
What?
In the middle of a conversation with him, and he goes,
That's what he does?
Yeah.
He's such a little bitch.
I am a little bitch. I don't like it. My
You
ears
little girl,
hurt.
you
My,
little
my
fucking
ears
girl.
hurt. I'll bench you any day, you little bitch. I lift weights now.
I know you do.
I'm fucking strong now, dude. It's a whole new Andrew. Got my tight little
whole
jeans.
new Andrew.
Whole new world.
How many times you lift? One time up and down, and that's it?
That's a good
He
one.
picks it up and puts it back down.
I do a dumbbell circuit. So I'll do some squats, some bench, then some lunges, then back pull downs, and then
Back pulled.
and then deadlifts.
But you keep it.
Deadlifts I'm very bad at because my lower back's very tight.
Yeah.
And my hips are tight.
Are you watching him do this, Ma?
No.
No, I lift on my own. I lift
Where?
in the rich house.
Where?
In Tribeca.
Oh, you go where you walk the
Yeah, I
dogs?
sneak in. Yep. I have the whole gym to myself. Me and Jake Gyllenhaal and Justin Timberlake and Ryan Reynolds. Just us
And Meg
three.
Ryan.
And Meg Ryan. And who else? Who else lives there? Blake Lively.
Yeah.
We have to bring back the last guests to pray for him. Please, let's bring back the last guests. Bring back Jesus, man.
You kind of look
Oh,
like
I love
Jesus if he
Paul.
only ate gluten.
Let's bring back Paul so we can pray for
Oh,
him.
I would
brother.
spend every day with Paul.
Oh, bring
He's
back
got
Jesus
such a
to
nice,
live.
chill vibe. I love. He's got.
Marshall did not like Paul.
Let's bring
oh,
back
we
Jesus.
shouldn't say that. Cut that out.
Let's bring him back so we can pray for Paul. Let's pray for him. Let's pray for him.
Shut up.
You
Be
kind of look like
nice.
Jesus if he fucking never walked.
Say what?
No, it's like Jesus just sat on the couch and ate bonbons.
Say what?
You have a Jesus feel, do you?
I know I do.
Jesus was a Jew.
It's you, yeah.
I'm trying to say it
was
nicely.
a
Yeah, I know. That sounded worse.
Yeah,
It
he's a-
sounded like you were covering up saying
dummies.
Jew.
He was a rabbi.
I don't think he was a rabbi.
He was a rabbi.
Yeah, well, your friend fucked his daughter.
I hear you.
Okay.
Let's
That's eight, yeah.
That
yeah.
works. That
yeah, that
works
worked.
right.
So how you doing?
I'm good.
How's,
The chemist texted me.
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
When?
Well, he quit or lost his job. I don't know. And he got a new phone. And so he texted me. He was like, "Hey, this is my new number." And I wrote back, "Okay," like 3 days later. And then the holiday came and went. And I didn't text him. And then he texted me. He goes, "Hey, hope you're well. Hope you had a good holiday or something." And I wrote back, "Yeah, you too. Have a good one. How was your holiday?" Just like he was like, "How was yours?" And I didn't answer. And then the way he was texting with me was so weird, and I don't care about this relationship anymore. So I said, "Our conversations are very weird." And he wrote, "Yeah, I love it. I kind of it's my favorite. And
So it's like a game.
Yeah, it was a game to him. And if you were reading it in the tone that I was delivering it, he would know that I wasn't like,
Yeah.
I was like, it's driving me bananas.
Yeah, but it gets lost through textlation.
Yes. So then he wrote back, oh, it's my fave. And I said, well, it's weird. And then I said, so you think it's fun to drive me crazy? And he goes, yes, it's awesome. And I wrote back, interesting. And then he said, and that's how I was writing. I was like, interesting. And then he said something else. And I said, I'm going to bed. And then that was it.
But Andrew, doesn't it seem like she gets some joy out of this
A
sometimes?
little bit.
Does
a
she?
little bit. There's.
I was trying to come to some conclusion. I like to have conclusions to things. I
Yeah,
like
but
ends.
if he's telling you that he likes to drive you crazy, that's when you go fuck yourself.
Yeah, right.
Don't write me anymore. Interesting, I'm going to bed means I can't wait to do this another time.
I haven't written him since.
It doesn't matter though. You got to be more definitive with him. It's like that's an opening move. You just want to keep the attention
When I
going.
say, no, this is what happens when I say go fuck yourself. He writes back, but I love you. And then
then
you're like, whoa.
You've blocked millions of people. Block his fucking texts. No
I
offense,
should.
chemist, because I think you're a good guy. But block him. I'm kidding. That was funny. But no, block him. Just block him.
I know I should.
Do it right now.
I'll do it right now.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Live.
Here you go, everyone.
Here we go.
Blocking the chemist.
Blocking the chemist, boy. You better fucking block.
I'm
Don't-
gonna show you.
Hopefully he writes me.
He doesn't have a job. What do you need from him? He's worthless
Just
now.
block. Can you unblock a block? Yeah, you can. You can unblock a block.
Andrew, where'd you get your hat, man?
I got it at some men's store.
It's cool.
Thank you. New shoes, new habit, new life. I'm
New
happy.
life.
I know. I'm so excited for this new life. I really feel like I have a new lease on life.
You look great.
I know it sounds like
some-
really cheesy, but I really do feel
You
like
have
that.
color in your cheeks other than your razor burn?
Yeah, other than my razor burn, like all around my razor burn looks great.
Looks good.
I honestly therapy has been the best thing ever.
Oh, that's great.
Therapy and then the exercise and finding out I didn't have AIDS has been changed my life.
I do feel like I hate him so much. I hate him so much. Did you get closer to the microphone to say that? Did you notice? He was like,
Marshall tried to talk into his fucking watch.
Into his watch. He goes, I can't talk right now.
But he's fucking so fat and disgusting. He had to bring.
I want to irritate you both so badly.
Just eat
And
a
I
Hershey's.
achieved it. I achieved it. I wanted to. Oh, I was so happy.
Yeah, you're like fucking the chemist. We'll block you, you
block
fucking bitch.
Oh, God.
You are. Oh, I like driving you guys fucking mad too.
I had to do it.
I feel like because he does listen to the podcast, I feel like it's so rude because he knows everything that I've gone through in life and what I really just want and how I just want like a simple. My life is not simple, and that's all I'm striving is to just have a little ease.
Andrew, do you think we'll ever have the day where, in the life of this podcast, where Mara will come in and say, "I'm in love," and I am so happy?
No, neither one of us will ever say it.
Really?
Yeah, it's the
darn
cheesiest
it.
shit ever.
How long is this podcast?
What?
What an entrance!
What do you mean? How long? You just
We're
got
not there
here.
yet.
Yeah, we're gonna do 9 hours.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a sit down. It's gonna be a filibuster.
Aaron Lewis telethon of kids you have.
Who is this person?
She's amazing.
Yeah.
And you're gonna love her.
I'm DulcA. Nice to meet you.
Well,
Yeah, why don't you say nice to meet you, Marshall?
What?
Unbelievable. Sorry about he owns this place, so he thinks he could be like
Yeah.
an asshole, you know?
he'll take phone calls. He's like a heckler in the crowd where he takes a call.
Oh, I destroy her.
You want to? You don't have to. If
You can
you don't
do
want
whatever
to.
you
You can do whatever you want. It's your
Headphones,
world.
So everybody can hear everybody.
Everyone can hear everybody. There we go.
My legs asleep.
Is it sleep?
I don't know if it's waking up or going back to sleep.
Here, let me
I have that all
give
the
me the
time.
leg. Give me the
Yeah, come get it. Come get it.
What do you want?
Anything?
Yeah, it's open.
Oh my
Higher.
God.
Higher.
Higher on the leg. Higher on the leg.
Okay, that'll get me on the. That'll get me.
Yeah,
Around.
that's
Okay.
all right. Harvey, sit down.
Oh, now you're up
No. He asked and I consented.
My cousin Harvey, not Harvey Weinstein.
He asked, I consented. No one did anything wrong.
Do you want to give her an intro?
Yes,
or?
of course I do. You might know her from The Daily Show.
Hi,
DulcA Sloan, ladies and gentlemen.
that's me, Dulce.
Thank you so much for being on the pod. No, is this still asleep?
Stand up. Because your
What
tiny
happened?
chair is cut off my circulation.
You know what? Well, I'll stand up.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
you can sit. See, he was raised right. A woman stood up, he stood up.
Oh man, yeah, that's not me. That's me, Mr.
Yeah.
Raiswell. You know, Mama
Look at this
was
fine
there.
southern boy.
Yeah.
Do you want to switch chairs with me?
I don't know. The tingling has to stop first. This is so stupid. Who made this?
So our guest
is it-
right now is not able to sit down.
My legs all tingling and feels.
No, that happens to me. When I sit on the shitter for too long.
Oh, I don't know what that happens if I do that.
Was it sleeping out there?
I think it's because I had my legs all folded up underneath me, like, ooh, I'm comfy. And I got up and my bud was like, bitch, no, you're not. So
Yeah, the couch will do that.
it destroying me.
Yeah.
Now I can't focus.
How are you?
I'm good. I went to work today. So we don't shoot on Fridays. So we just go in there and like work on stories and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So I basically just go in there and bother the field producers.
Yeah. What did they put you out on? They send you
Have
around.
you ever dated
right?
anyone at work?
I just started and everyone's in a relationship. So no.
Wait. Oh, you just started.
No,
Yeah.
not
started.
there, but like any job.
Not dated. Probably like hooked up with someone at work. But other than that,
Have you dated other comics?
I never dated another wait.
You fucked them though.
No, they were too new to be considered comics.
Oh,
They're too new to be considered comics. We have hooked up with comics before. They're the only men I see every day.
Yeah.
So
I know.
I'm fucking one of them.
yeah.
Oh, can I curse on this? Just-
Yeah.
Um,
You can do anything.
yeah, like they're just surrounded by dicks. Like I gotta use one of them. But now, so many of them respect me that I can't get into it.
Yeah, you gotta stop this respect thing.
Oh man, they're
Get
like,
fired.
oh, you're so funny. I'm like, go away. Or
Oh, yeah.
come closer.
Yeah, success has really ruined your fuck game, huh?
Oh man, it screwed me up. Oh God,
you
especially
would think it would help.
no. You have to remember, all these male comics don't have a lot of self-esteem. So, because
Yeah.
most stand-up is alpha males and beta, like alpha females and beta males. So I'm already surrounded by like,
Me.
well, I love you.
Yeah, but I'm pretty beta. I'm not really out.
I don't think you're that beta. No, there's some real beta males. And
Yeah,
there's ones that
that's
like
true.
the flip and flop. Like, oh, I'm my dude. And then you get around and I'm like, I'm like, I don't like any of this.
Where are you from?
I grew up in Atlanta. But
Hot
originally-
Atlanta.
Yeah, that's a touristy thing. I
Yeah.
think it's finally going away. This is so dumb. Shouldn't this go away faster?
What, the leg or Hot Atlanta?
No. Yeah, Hot Atlanta's stupid. It's some tourist bullshit we put on shirts. And then everyone's like, oh, Hot Atlanta. I'm like, no one fucking says that.
Yeah, except for me.
Like, no one from New York is like, the Big Apple. Like, no one's doing that.
Marshall does that.
Your leg still is
I'm
tingling.
just kidding.
It's going away because it was really intense.
Yeah.
So it's like tapering off. I don't know what it means.
Here, give me a coat.
Oh, look who's being nice. Thank you. And then he snatched it out of my hand.
Calm the fuck down.
Oh, this is great. This is great.
I don't
love
work
the-
here. I don't have to be nice to
No,
you.
we don't either. We don't work here. We don't work here. We just use this place, you know? We're our own. We're renegades.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, we're real renegades.
This is a very nice place. I was
Thank
like,
you.
she's
Yeah.
like, oh, a podcast. I'm like, all right, I'm going to an apartment. And then everybody
Yeah.
has a podcast here. It's like it's an actual place. I was like, oh, these
Yeah.
New York dudes. Oh, these New York comics are fancy.
Marshall's allowed us to be the only podcast that records here.
Yeah.
He's our little angel.
Oh, thank you, Marshall.
I know.
We do a lot of voiceover stuff here.
We don't get hired for any of
No,
it.
we've
but
asked many times.
we don't even get
Yeah.
casted.
I think it's because you have a lisp.
But I'm alpha.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
I have a slight lisp. Like
Yeah.
you cannot tell
I can't.
unless I'm doing a voiceover, and then sometimes my S's whistle a little bit because I'm just I'm so theater that I hit everything real hard to the point where the S's whistle. So they're like, so I didn't know. And so I started doing like voiceover classes. She's like, do you have a lisp? I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
How the fuck would I know that? I sound like a regular person. She's
Yeah,
like,
me
it's
too.
so
Yeah.
slight. I was like, I think you want me to give you more money.
Yeah.
I think you lied to me, lady. No one in my life's ever said that.
They have really great voiceover classes here at the Sound Lounge.
Oh, I ain't doing that now. I got a job. I never booked a voiceover job because they're like, well, we can't really tell what your ethnicity is when you're doing a voiceover. So we need to be able to tell.
Wow.
So I could never get booked because they're like, they couldn't tell what race I was. And I was like,
Isn't that the
Yeah,
point
can you
of
be
the voiceover?
more urban-y?
yeah, like,
Yeah.
think about all the McDonald's commercials you hear in February. Like, you know those are black people.
What's in February?
What?
What's happening in
Black-
February? Oh, Black History Month. I don't know. I was
I'm
like
outta here.
Valentine's
God,
Day.
God.
I was like, is the
Fucking-
McRib coming
They
back?
gave us the shortest fucking month. And this chick doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Is the McRib? That's the McRib?
That's what I just thought.
Yeah, I know. That's unbelievable.
No longer speaking. I'm fielding no questions from her. I've just met her and I'm already done. I'm already off white women right now, and you just solidified
Oh, I'm
it.
telling Peggy O'Leary.
Peggy's the only one that gets in, and we all know that. When I said I'm off white women, no one thought I meant Peggy.
She
So-
is very white.
So you're off white women, white men, fine.
Oh yeah, I'm fucking them.
I love that. Everyone hates white men right now. You're against white women.
Oh man, they're the worst.
Oh, that's great.
God.
Oh,
Yeah.
finally. Someone on our side. Oh, that's great.
I'm glad I had you on my show.
Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Hey, girl.
Hey, hey, lovely.
Nice to meet you. This is a disclaimer. I'm not off white women because I don't need any messages from someone going, well, I liked you so much. I thought you were so funny. I can't believe you said that. I'm a fucking comment, you twit. Leave me alone.
I was a fan until you said you're off white women for a second when your leg was asleep.
And then I'm like, I was like sort of pale, so I'm not off white, you know? Like,
Also, the whole thing now with like Jewish dudes telling me they're not like they're dark meat, they're not white.
Oh, interesting.
That's a new fun thing.
Really? You're
Yeah.
into Jew. You like Jewish guys.
I like menses. I like the Jewish menses because you know I love the Lord.
When did that
And
start?
I think since childhood.
Really? Were you around a
Yes.
lot of Jews in Atlanta?
There are some. They all live in the same neighborhood, but
They keep them in one house?
because like there's Toco Hills where all the Hasidic Jews, like 'cause you see them walking into them on Friday, and then the school that I went to, like the elementary school I went to, was in a nice area, so we learned about Hanukkah and Christmas.
Yeah.
But like a lot of schools in Atlanta are like, I mean, they somewhere. We'll be fine. But
With the
Yeah.
Jews?
I
Yeah.
mean, just
Yeah.
everybody, because it was like I didn't learn about Kwanzaa at that school, but definitely learned about Hanukkah. I don't know what it is. Maybe because the God chosen people. I read the Bible. What do you want from me?
No, I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing.
I know you want nothing.
What? Oh, boy. I gotta do this
getting-
because I got razor burn on my cheeks. It has
No.
nothing to do with you. I just got razor burn on my cheeks.
I'll just roll the LaCroix across it. It's nice and cold.
What? So you're from Atlanta, and
yeah,
then
grew up in Atlanta. I was born in Miami. Grew up in Atlanta.
I'm born. Me too. I was born in Miami Baptist Hospital.
I was born in Baptist
Me
Hospital.
too.
Shut up! We're born in the same hospital.
What? So how was like your childhood though? Were your parents?
We moved a lot. Me and my mom were born in Baptist Hospital. I think I was born in the room above where she was born. And then we moved to Oklahoma. My brother was born because that's where my father's from. And then my parents got divorced and we moved to Colorado. And then we moved to Georgia. But we did all of this before I started
why
kindergarten.
did you move to Colorado?
Because my mother's friend lived in Colorado. So when
Oh.
she divorced him,
Do you need like a support system?
yeah. So like, because my mom had me when she was 21. By the time she was 24, she was divorced and had 2 kids. So my auntie Jeannie came from Colorado and picked us up.
Are
We
you
stayed-
the oldest?
I'm the oldest, yeah.
Okay.
But me and my brother only 16 months apart. So
That's cool.
yeah, we're real close. Chronologically. And now I love my brother. He's a goofball. Yeah, we went to Colorado, and then my uncle lived in Atlanta because he went to Morehouse. And you know, that's where they make black people. So
Yeah.
we went to Atlanta, and then I was in the 4th grade. We went back to Miami because we were going to move to Jamaica because my mom had a clothing business. And my grandpa passed away, and then we came back to Atlanta, and we stayed there.
So you did live in Jamaica for a while.
We never made it. My grandpa passed.
Oh, he was in Jamaica.
He was in Miami, but he passed, and it just like my mom's father died, so she was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I gotta handle this.
Yeah.
So, we just ended up going back to Atlanta.
Where was your dad?
I assume. Oh, I haven't seen my father since 1986.
Okay.
So you guys are close.
Real tight, real tight.
Yeah.
Talk to him every day.
Have you ever talked, or when was the next time you talked to him after your after?
I've never talked to him again. I've not seen or spoken to him since 1986.
That's 31 years.
Yep.
Do you ever reach out? Do you?
No. No. We talked to his mother a few times, and she passed in. When that lady died?
When did that lady die?
I don't know. Because I only talked to her like 3 or 4 times after.
So your parents, when they got divorced, like you were too young. You're
I was like 2 or 3.
yeah.
So do you even know what your father looks like?
No, we have pictures of him. I remember him.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember him. I remember the house in Oklahoma. After they got divorced, I remember not wondering where he was. And I asked my mom, and she says a lot of times he would just leave, and she didn't know where he was. And he'd pop back up, and she's like, "The fuck you been?" And he's like, "Don't worry about it." She's like, "What? I have 2 children from you. What the hell are you talking about?" So that was one of the reasons why we left. There's a lot of stuff. Like, my mother finally told me, I think like 2 years ago, what happened. And I was like, oh, shit.
What did happen?
What did?
Oh, we would have been dead if we stayed with him. I wouldn't be alive. My brother or my mother wouldn't be alive. Period.
Wow.
What drugs?
Just
Oh,
a bunch of shit. But she did say he was an unsuccessful drug dealer, which made her very angry.
if he was successful, she'd be happier. She'd
Well, because she was like telling me about it, and she's like, "Who the fuck can't sell drugs? They're fucking drugs." Like, that was her whole point.
yeah, it's a good point.
And I was like 17, and I was like, "What the hell?" And my brother was like, "That's right. Who the fuck can't, like, anybody
yeah,
can sell drugs? They're fucking drugs."
yeah.
She was so mad. She was so mad. Like, not about, like, I mean, like, the other stuff, like, yeah, he was an awful person to her and to us, because he's the reason my brother ate rat poison.
What?
What?
My brother was
Jesus.
playing in the cabinets. This is in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Okay.
And my brother's playing in the cabinets, and my mother says to him, "Hey, don't let," because my brother had to be like 1 year old. And she's like, "Don't let him play in the cabinets." And he was like, "Shut up, woman." She's like, "All right, I'm 22, fuck it." And my brother plays in the cabinets. There's the little pellets of rat poison. Eats one of them.
Oh my God.
Freaks my mother is horrified. So they take him to the doctor. They take him to the hospital, and they give him this charcoal stuff for him to drink. Doesn't let a single drop hit the ground, is what she said. They take him back home, and then like an hour later, there's just charcoal all over his crib. And she's like, "I didn't wash shit." She's like, "I wrapped it up and threw it away." She's like, "I'm not fucking dealing with this."
Yeah.
So he's fine because he's ingested way more things, and he's still here. So,
Toughen them up.
oh man, she said she caught him with a bottle of bleach to his mouth. And she's like, I don't know if he was at the beginning or the end of it, but he was like, she said he was like patting the bottom of the bottle.
Your brother.
My brother.
Yeah.
I'd hurt my neck when I was I'd hurt my neck when I was little. And they gave me muscle relaxants. And they're bubblegum flavored. He drank those.
Oh my God.
You can't give him anything.
No. Lock up everything. My brother would ingest anything.
How is he now?
He's fine. He just turned 33.
Yeah.
He's good. He's in
He's
Atlanta.
alive.
He's
Okay.
alive.
Yeah.
He's alive.
Is he
but
married?
No.
How was it growing up without a dad? Did you feel like, especially being the oldest, was there a lot of responsibility on you? Did you feel, especially with a brother eating rat poison?
Well, he's so resilient as a human. The crazy thing is, when he grew up, he looked just like our father. And for as awful as my father had been to my mother, for my mother to sit up and see his face every day and not hate my brother is amazing. Because it's like, you have to ask yourself, could I do that? Because she takes very good care of him. Because she's like, I need him to be good. He needs to be fine. She's helped him with a lot of stuff, like helping, he needs a car. She's helped him get a car. He needs a job. She's helped him get a job. And
You do with your babies, right?
it's your baby, but also the man who was awful to you
Yeah.
and could have killed you and your kids is staring you in the face every day. And you're still like, well, you're still my son. So for her to be able to see past this man's face sitting on my brother's face is amazing to me. Because you have to ask yourself, could I do that? But you're like, oh, it's still my kid.
Yeah.
So you
Well,
could
maybe
sit
she
to not.
sees the little bit of good that was in your dad and your brother.
I think she just sees her own face in my brother.
Yeah.
But I mean, she, he wasn't complete. She couldn't have been completely awful.
Do you not like our water here?
Oh, I just.
I mean, we have water here.
Oh no, I have. I got a can.
Okay.
Yeah, LaCroix. She got LaCroix.
I've got some nice flavored sparkled water in here.
So you were the oldest, and then with your dad gone, and then your mom, she worked a ton, and so you had.
Yeah, she worked a ton, and there was just times she just wasn't at work. When we moved back to Miami, I was like, because I don't know how I graduated on time. I guess because the 90s nobody gave a shit. But when we went back to Miami, I didn't go to school. Me and my brother didn't go to school for like a month.
Yeah.
Because we'd moved. But all you got to do is just go on the paperwork. Yeah, we just got here. Because I think when my mom, one of her cousins was like, we take them fucking kids to school. She's like, oh, yeah. I should probably do that. But she was she was taking care of shit. Because
It's so much to do.
well, also, we moved to Miami 2 months after Hurricane Andrew hit.
Oh.
So it was, I got to find a job at somewhere that's not demolished.
Yeah.
Because she went through 4 sets of tires in a week, just right after Andrew. Because there was so much debris and just shit around. So my grandma, she was the only one for 2 blocks who had a roof on their house. Because both of her neighbors, it's like somebody just peeled their roof off and then just dumped water in their house. So my grandma was the only one with a roof, and we stayed with my grandma, which is just hilarious. My grandma.
How old were you at this time?
I was 9.
Oh, okay.
But you couldn't touch my grandma's walls. Do not touch my grandma. I spent a lot of time.
The couch, plastic on the couch?
No, the hurricane took her furniture out.
Oh.
My grandma went through a lot of furniture. And then after Andrew, she's like, I'm not buying anymore. I'm in my 60s. What the fuck? I live here.
Yeah.
She's like, I got a bed and a dresser and 2 couches in the Florida room. Figure it out.
That got you ready to live in Brooklyn.
I live in Astoria. Thank you.
Yeah.
But no, he wasn't around, and I don't remember wondering where he was. I don't know why. I never thought about where he was. I was just like, oh, he's just not here. And then when I was on 8, I saw in some paperwork, when they sent the contact information to the school, I saw on something that my mother sent to the school, and it's father not allowed within so many 100 feet of the school. And I was like, oh, that's not a good sentence. I was 8. And I was like, I don't need to know where the fuck this dude is. If he's not allowed around us, something happened.
Did your mom?
At 8, you had to grow up super fast.
When I was super fast, I was like, oh, this nigga was trash. Got it.
That's one sentence you read kind of told you the whole story.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but if he's not allowed near, I've seen enough TV to know, if someone's not allowed near you, if the government, if the law got involved, he's probably not a good person.
Yeah.
Did your mom date at all?
She did. She had a boyfriend when I was 6. And then the next time she had a boyfriend that I knew about, I was 17.
That's a long. Does she have one now?
I don't know. Girl, I don't know my mama business.
She never remarried for that.
She never remarried, no.
I just find it so weird. So many women don't get remarried.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like she probably wants, she wants to get remarried. She was actually, I think she was gonna get remarried. But I don't remember what happened. But she didn't have boyfriends around us. Mm-hmm. And I think one of my friends, when we were growing up, asked, your mom ain't got no boyfriend? Because their mothers would have boyfriends. Mm-hmm. And then they'd live with them or whatever. And then they'd break up with the dude and they'd leave. And my mother was like, no. My mother didn't have men around us like that. It was my uncles or a husband of a female friend of hers. So my uncle, whatever my auntie's husband was an uncle or something like that. But she's she didn't want men around us. She said, because before you had to worry about men messing with your daughter, and you also have to worry about men messing with your son. So that's why she didn't have men around us. Ben she was dating around us growing up. Because there are men who prey on women with children. Because we've all seen a Lifetime movie before.
Oh, my God, yeah.
So since there are men who prey on women with children, she's like, I'm not even dealing with that. Because I don't have to kill somebody. So she didn't.
And how did that affect you with your dating?
Yeah.
What did you date at all? In high school?
I didn't date in high school. I a few guys that I dated in high school, not many. 1, I was a fat girl in high school. 2, I had a lot of guy friends. So guys, after I got out of high school, a couple guys were like, oh, I want to ask you out, but I don't want your friends to beat me up. And I'm like, they wouldn't have had a reason to beat you up unless you fucking did something.
Yeah.
So since I had so many male friends, guys wouldn't ask me out. Because one of my homeboys, they thought he was my boyfriend.
Yeah, it gets really confusing.
Right. And I walked to every class. And then, like, a lot of my friends were Latino. So when you say bye to each other, you do the kiss on the cheek. So if you're in high school and you see a guy kiss a girl on the cheek, they're obviously together. When he was just saying bye to me.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh,
You made yourself unavailable that
You should
way.
have hung out with more white women. You would have got more dick.
I know. So much more D.
no, I would have just had to do. I mean, I hung out with like gifted classes, and then I had those goofballs, and then I had theater classes. So I just hung out with different groups of people.
Have you ever been in a long-term relationship?
I have the longest relationship. Well, the longest.
Is he dead? It sounds like he's
Nah,
dead.
he's dead to me. And I'm definitely dead to him. No, the longest, like, consecutive relationship was a year.
Okay.
But the longest relationship I've ever been in was from January of 2007 until January of 2016. Or like December 2015.
But within that time, you also had a different relationship that was a
Yes.
year long. Okay.
So within that time, I dated other people. He
Got it.
dated someone else, and it was just a back and forth situation. But yeah, that yeah.
Why did you keep going back?
Cause I don't. One, he lived down the street.
It's like convenience.
Because it's like, oh, I'm sad and I'm lonely, and it's winter, and he's down the street. I mean, he also kept letting me come back.
Yeah.
So that was
That's
the
true.
other thing.
Yeah.
But were you together or were you just fucking?
Sometimes we were dating, sometimes we were just hanging out. Because I originally started dating him because he fixed my car.
Okay.
So I used to work at an auto body shop like 10 years ago, and I managed the auto body shop. So I knew the parts guy over at the Chevy dealership. And me and the parts guy used to talk all the time. He's like young, like in his 20s. And so me and him used to talk and flirt all the time. And he came into the office and we looked at each other and we're like, nope. And then, like, it was a mutual, like, nah. And then he started telling his roommate about me, and the roommate, that's the guy. So the roommate is the mechanic. And
Yeah.
the mechanic lost the use of his name in 2012. So he is referred to
As the
only
mechanic.
as the mechanic.
She just blocked a guy that she refers to as the,
The
chemist.
chemist.
The chemist?
Yeah.
Well, I had post office guy.
How'd you meet him? You deliver your mail?
I met him in the post office. I was literally dropping off mail for my boss. And I was talking shit about, like, because you know, like, the automatic postage machine?
Yeah.
And it just says on it, it's like, do you have any bombs or lighters? I was like, who the fuck answers yes to this question? And the
Yeah.
post office is packed and everybody's laughing, and he comes in and he just worked in the back. So he didn't have like a postal uniform. He just worked in the back just throwing boxes around. So we exchanged numbers. We hung out 3 times, and me and him just slept together from 2009 until like November of 2015 or like October, something like that.
While you were also kind of with the mechanic.
They
on
were
and off.
concurrent, yes.
Yes. Okay.
And then you had the year long. What was the worst breakup? Like, have you had a relationship that
worst-
was like,
The worst breakup was the year-long guy.
okay, what happened with that?
The year-long guy was a dude who started doing stand-up, black dude, and me and him started dating.
Did you meet him during stand-up or did he start
I met
after?
him. He had just started.
Okay.
He was an actor too. I'm an actor too, so I didn't care.
This was in Atlanta? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And basically, long story short, he cheated on me. I forgave him, and he kept bringing it up because the story kept changing. And I was like, okay, you already told me the story the first time. Why are you telling me? Well, I felt bad that I didn't tell you the truth the first time. Okay, but this is the 4th time you've told me, and the story's different.
It's like playing a
again.
game of telephone with himself.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, so every couple of weeks, you're like, oh yeah, let me tell you how this was trash again. And
Why
so,
would he do that, though? Did he think that
Was
it
it sabotaging
made
it?
you want him more?
I think it's just a lot of times, like I was saying to somebody,
Oh,
a lot of
yeah.
times when people apologize, it has nothing to do with you. It's for them. So he was like, oh, well, I feel guilty. I didn't tell her the whole truth this time. Let me tell her the truth this time. And it just kept, and I was like, nigga, shut up. Like, quit fucking telling me about this. Because I forgave you the first time, but every time you tell me, it's like you cheated on me again. And I quit talking to him. And then he started showing up at shows. He showed up at my house a couple times. I was hanging out with my homeboy one night. He showed up at my homeboy's house at 3 a.m. And so, yeah, I'm just going to put a restraining order on him. So that was fun. Because
But you were still together.
No, we'd broken up, and that's when he started doing all this showing up, popping up shit. And yeah, I was not. No. So
Is he still doing stand up?
Oh, I don't know.
It's Kevin Hart.
It's Louis C.K.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's Jewish.
But yeah, so there's that. But no, the mechanic was the longest, and post office guy, we had a rule where if one of us was dating someone, we wouldn't hook up. But if neither one of us was dating somebody, we would. But at one point, he was still dating someone. Still, and I was like, no, this is not how this works. This is...
Right.
Quit calling me. Like, this is not how this works. But that's also the dude that asked me to be his mistress.
Do you want to be in a relationship?
Definitely. Been wasting eggs for a while. I'm fucking bored. So exhausted. I've been losing these eggs since the age of 11. Somebody needs to show the fuck up in my body.
Yeah, but if it feels like you only go out with guys that you know are not going to work out.
Okay, one, you're trying to analyze me, and that doesn't make any sense. Two, I talk to who talks to me. So I did not know at the beginning of any of these relationships they weren't going to work out. What are you talking about?
Okay, first
Because
of
when
all,
I met the mechanic, I was 23.
do you not have a checklist of what you want the man to be?
Yes, but when I met the mechanic, I was 23. He had a house and 2 cars and a good job.
Okay.
So in my Georgia brain, I'm like, oh, you marry this motherfucker.
Because on paper, he's got stuff.
On paper, he's got a stable job. You have a house. If you're 25 with a house, first of all, who the fuck do you know who's 25 who owns a house? Who owns a house? Not many people, especially not black men. Owning a fucking house at 25, having a good job, just anybody. Mm-hmm. He's the only other person I ever met in their early 20s who had a house.
Well, Andrew had one, just it had bunk beds in it.
Yeah, I had 2 sets of bunk beds.
You did you own that home?
Yeah,
he did.
Why were there bunk beds in his house?
But I was a fucking pimp.
He bought the model that had bunk beds.
Yeah, no, I bought it furnished and I'm lazy as fuck.
Were you sleeping on a bunk bed?
No, I had my own room. I had my little kid's room. I was saving it for 4 little kids one day.
So wait, you're making it sound like this grown man was sitting on bunk bed. She rude. Why would she do that to you?
Well, first of
girl
all,
was you
I
bringing
slept in
home?
there sometimes for fun.
Why?
I don't know.
He's been single
Made me
for
feel
16
big.
years.
Now I can't tell you.
I've been single for a long
There were
time.
comics in Atlanta who I guess they just wanted to move out or whatever, but it was 4 male comics living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and they had bunk beds.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they were all in their mid 20s.
I lived in the Laugh Factory, and that we had bunk beds.
When you say lived in.
lived in?
Above it.
Yeah.
There was a.
You know how there's like the offices of the Laugh Factory in
In
Hollywood?
LA?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then
There's that thing about, like...
Yeah,
I know there's the upstairs.
Okay, so you go across the street to the offices.
I've never been in the office.
Yeah, and then there's like Bill Dawes lives downstairs, and hey Bill, and we lived upstairs in 200 square feet, so we had to have bunk beds.
It's interesting depending on
200 square feet.
what city you live in. Like,
It's like this. That's it.
LA makes sense to me to do that because you're going there chasing your dream. Atlanta, not as much.
Hell no.
You know?
I had an apartment. You could still get a 1-bedroom apartment in Atlanta for like $600.
Oh my God, that's like a mansion.
If I could just save up, I could do that Star Bar show once.
That's why so many people move to Atlanta. Like, there's still apartments in Atlanta that do $99 move-in specials.
Oh my God.
So if you can pass a credit check through a security deposit, your first month rent is $99.
I'm coming, Atlanta.
Yeah, and then like one of my friends, Joe Kelly, who lives in a van. Joe Kelly's been there for 3 weeks. He already has a job.
In Atlanta?
Yes,
Yeah.
he's like working for some company that does like graphic design. They put like your pets on socks. But he knows another comic that works there, got the job
I
because he's
want
done
the
graphic
socks.
design. I'll give you the name of the website because I can't remember what it is. But he's only been there for 3 weeks and he got this job. So like it's Atlanta, so he'll have an apartment in 2 months. That's why everybody moves. Like I met plenty of people that are like, girl, I only brought enough money for 2 months rent.
Yeah.
And then they'll get a job and they'll be fine. So that's why everybody moves there because you're like, wait a minute. For the rent that I pay here,
Yeah. You could have had a house.
I'd
Yeah.
have the nicest house
Yeah.
in Atlanta, depending on where I was.
But you want to be getting paid that money.
Oh, no, you're not getting paid. I don't know what kind of weird, like, advertising.
You'd have to be a mechanic.
Well, I know. I remember. No. I remember when the economy bottomed out in 2008, when, like, the housing bubble
that
happened.
hit me.
He he would make, because he made like $25 an hour, but he was making 60, 80 hours a week. But it's only, your hours are based off of the book, off what hours you get off of doing something. So like an oil change only pays like 30 minutes to an hour, but if you pull a transmission, that's way more. So when that happened, like people would come in and get like $100 oil change. But when the economy fucked up, those people were going to those raggedy people down the street getting $20 oil changes. So he went from making, 40, 60, 80 hours a week to sometimes only getting 13 hours a week.
Oh.
Did he lose the house?
He didn't lose his house. But it was, there were definitely times where his parents had to help him. But he, so I would talk to him. I'm like, what'd you do today? He's like, I had to figure out if I was going to eat or buy cigiarets. And I'm like, and you picked cigarettes.
Yeah.
Right, because you can
Because you
only...
can eat the cigarette.
Well, it's always, I can get something to drink. I can get something,
Yeah.
I can drink sodas. I can drink something all fucking day or get a yogurt and be fine. So, but also cigarettes are only like $5. So, the fuck. So, he was doing that. And at one point, I wasn't working because I got laid off from a job. So, I was feeding him on my unemployment check because I knew he didn't have it. So, we didn't go out a lot because if you can't feed yourself, you can't take me on a date.
Okay.
And so, it was, but at that point, we've been around, going back and forth for like a year. Because we dated for a while and then we stopped talking and we started dating again. But I knew his situation and I really cared about him. And I was like,
So you're taking over and you're being the alpha in this relationship.
Well, not being the alpha, it was just like,
an alpha is a provider, protector, producer, and you're becoming the provider.
all I want to do was feed the man. I'm very
Right.
Southern. I couldn't handle a man being hungry. If you ask anybody in my office, I'm always like, did you eat? Did you eat? Did you eat? Because like my friend Joe stayed with me for a week. He said the question I asked him the entire week was, you hungry? That's all. Like literally we went to the beach. I fell asleep riding back from the beach and I woke up and was like, you hungry? He's like, we're in traffic. You can't feed me. There's nothing in this van for me to eat. What are you talking about? So, but not even if we were dating, like
You'd be a great wife.
I'm thank you. I'm out here feeding these motherfuckers, making sure they're fine. And I wasn't cleaning up his house because I'm not that great. Also, I'm not cleaning up your house. But, also black men are very meticulous about their homes. So their house is always fucking spotless.
At what point in all this did you start stand-up?
I didn't start stand-up until May of 2009. And he never came to see me do stand-up. Not once. Not once did he come to see me do stand-up. And I remember when we first started talking, I thought it would be funny to give him, because I would always joke with him. I'm like, leave me alone, I want to talk to you. He's like, shut up. Because he would do like test drives on cars. Because I worked up the street from him. That's how I met him. And the first night we met, my car was fucking up. So I just pulled up and I was like, somebody fix this shit. I don't care. And because he kept cutting off. Because basically,
So you're shy.
Yes. But I already knew them because I would take cars down there. I just didn't know. I knew the guys in the office. I just didn't know him in the back. So the guys in the front told the parts dude that I was there, and then he went and grabbed him. So Jay is his crazy redneck roommate at the time, and then Jay goes and gets him. And then he comes out, and I meet this tiny man. We're the same, we were the same height, we're the same. If you put us back to back and shot a gun around us, just like a carnival game, I'd get hit in the hip. Other than that,
Yeah.
same fucking size. And he loved to tell me he was taller than he was. I was like, you
The
lying
mechanic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, because we stopped talking for a second, started talking again, and I was like, I'm going to give you divorce papers. He's like, no, the fuck you're not. And I was like, definitely doing this dumb shit now. So I went online, found Britney. I was like, I need just a copy of divorce papers. And they had, I think it was like TMZ had put up a copy of Britney Spears divorce papers. So, and I didn't do, a lot of days at work, I didn't do anything. So I just spent the day just reworking these, and I made an exact, I'm a beast in Word. So
Yeah.
I went through and made divorce papers, County of DeKalb, because I knew his whole name. One of my homegirls was in as my lawyer. I had one of his friends as his lawyer. I had all the stipulations, he can still fix my car. I can still get sexy time when I want. And he got the ability to see me. And I pulled up to his job with a manila envelope. And he was like, what is the... did you fucking? I'm like, yep. So he opened him. He's like, you're such an idiot.
Did he sign him?
He never saw. It was a running joke with us back and forth. And I was like, where are my divorce papers? He's like, I'm never signing them.
I don't know. In a way, it's like romantic that you did that.
Yeah, because it was always a running joke.
Yeah.
I would always
that's what I'm saying.
give me my divorce papers. He's like, never.
Yeah.
He never signed. And I was like, did you throw them away? He's like, no, I got them packed up with other stuff. So he kept them.
Yeah. It's a nice memory.
Yeah, because...
So it kind of bonds you.
Well, yeah, no, he hates me now. He won't speak to me. Like, I called him the other day. He won't answer the phone.
Because you're successful.
What happened at the end?
Well,
What'd you do?
He never came to see me he's never come to see me do stand-up. Mm-hmm. And even though he had he told me one day when I came over, like after I was visiting back home after moving to LA, and he was telling me that for his aunt's 60th birthday, his black aunt's 60th birthday, they went to go see Pauly Shore at the Improv. And I couldn't figure out what I was more angry or confused about. The fact that he went to a stand-up show when he refused to see me, or the fact that 10 black people went to go see Pauly Shore.
He was big, though. Encino Man?
This was a year ago.
It's still a glass.
Why did a 60-year-old black woman want to go see Pauly Shore?
Dude, he was fucking Pauly Shore.
I don't understand.
Biodome, bro.
Biodome,
So
dude.
I don't know what his aunt's into. Maybe she likes the weasel. I don't know.
She's in the juice.
But I was so...
No, he's in the juice.
So I walked in, I took my shoes off, and I was like... And he starts... And I was like, I took off my shoes, I took off my earrings, getting ready to lay down. And he starts telling me about this, and I get up, and I start putting my shoes back on.
Pauly Shore was the last
And I was like, nigga, you are kidding me. And he was like, are you leaving? I was like, you went to a stand-up show. You know I'm a fucking comic. You never came to see me, and you coloreds went to go see Pauly Shore. Are you fucking serious? I was so
What if he goes,
mad.
he was amazing.
And I was like, what if I was there? He's like, then I seen you do stand-up. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you and burn your house down. What is wrong with you? And like I start putting, like, he's like, why are you putting your stuff? I was like, you gotta understand I'm very mad right now, right? And he's like, yeah, I know, I'm sorry. The only time he ever came to see me in something was I was in a play, and this was like right when I'd started doing stand-up. I was in a play in Atlanta. I'd been in it for like almost a year. And he only came to see it when I was dating someone else, is when he came to see it. Yeah. And he would like call me up, like, oh, is your car good? And I'm like, what the fuck? This nigga, I'm dating somebody else. That's why. Yeah.
Is your
How does
car
he know
good?
that you're dating someone else? How does he find this out?
Oh, because I wouldn't come see him.
It's funny that, like, with your car, like, always getting, like, worked on.
I've had multiple used
I love
cars.
if you had a good run, if you had a nice, like, Honda, you would have never seen him again.
No. When we met, I had a 92. I do a joke about
If I
it.
only had a warranty.
Right.
Yeah, you never would have
When
saw.
we met, I had a 92 Pontiac with 283,000 miles on it that was leaking oil and transmission fluid. So I started dating a mechanic because
Yeah.
I'm not an idiot.
Yeah, it's smart.
And then I'm like, now I like him. Shit.
Yeah.
And because they just knew, like, the guys just...
Plus, they're manly. Mechanics are manly.
I mean, the thing about him,
Yeah,
he was a
sexy.
man. He was short,
Yeah.
but he was still a man. So, like, one day I was at the house and he had, like, built a bar.
Yeah, it's
And
hot.
I was like, did you... Hey, man, come here. I gotta show you something. I was like, what? I was like, your titties, come here. Just built a fucking bar. Let's go. I was like, this is the sexiest thing you've ever done. He's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I was like, get out! We're going in your bedroom! Ah!
Blow?
What is wrong with you? And I was like, this is fucking sexy.
You blow him?
I'm not giving you that information, you creep. See, there's your Weinstein.
Yeah, no, that's
That's
like,
his staple question.
Yeah.
Every
Okay,
show.
cool. No,
I haven't said it in a while. I'm just curious.
I'm not answering that.
Well, yeah, you built a bar. You get blown, you build a bar.
I don't
I've
know.
never built anything. I don't
think
even
she
know if
blew
I
him?
picked up a hammer. Huh?
Did she blow him?
I don't know.
Can we not?
Talking about someone when, like they're not here?
I'm
Come on.
sitting right here. Fucking Creepenstein.
He's a
I
real,
love her.
Fucking can't.
She's the
She's
best.
great.
Creepy.
The best.
So how good does it feel to be on TV with that fucking mechanic never came to your show? Like some stuff like that's gotta feel fucking so good, dude.
So watch this. So I think the reason he's not speaking to me is because he watches Comedy Knockout. I've been on Comedy Knockout like 5 or 6 times. And when I did like the first couple of them, he hit me up. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it." And I was like, "It's not on until tomorrow."
How's your car?
Right. Well, I don't have a car in LA, so he's fine. And there was one episode, because they have this game on the show called What Not to Say. Mm-hmm. So, like, what's not to say if you're a pilot? And I'd be like, shot, just stupid stuff like that. So one day the game was What Not to Say if you're a mechanic. And I was like, oh, no. Like, I called my homegirl, and I was like, bitch, I'm going down. I am about to say something so out of line, so ridiculous. And she's like, fuck it, run it. Like, because when I moved to LA the month before, he knew when I was leaving. Mm-hmm. The whole month before I left, he wouldn't speak to me. Wouldn't answer the phone, wouldn't nothing. And I used to do this fun game where he would ignore me and I'd show up at his house unannounced because I hated being ignored because it's disrespectful, and he hated people coming to his house unannounced because it's disrespectful. So I did that for a while, like early
seems
on.
Healthy. This seems healthy.
But also I was 24.
Oh, yeah.
And he was, something like 26 at the time. And I remember one time he quit talking. He just would ghost me. Like, if he had anything going, he could not process emotions. So if there had any issue between me and him, he wouldn't talk to me about it. He just wouldn't speak to me. If he had money issues or something going on with his family or his friends, he just powered down like a laptop, wouldn't speak to anybody. So at one point, me and him came to an agreement, and I was just like, okay, instead of ignoring me, just tell me it's not me, and I'll just leave you alone. But I don't know if it's me or not. Mm-hmm. So one time, he started ignoring me, and I didn't pop up out of the blue. And then he eventually called me. It was like 3 weeks later. And my friends were like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm lovely. And I get over to the house, and he's like, why didn't you pop up? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, I was talking to you and you didn't pop up.
So he just expected it.
He just expected it. Because one time when I did it, he goes, I knew you were going to do this. And I was like, then I guess I'm not unannounced. Let me fucking in. Because he always let me in. And we always had a long argument, then had sex, and then I went to work the next day. Like, this is always how this happened. So that day, it freaked him out because I didn't pop up. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, he's like, why didn't you pop up? I said, because I didn't see the point. He's like, what do you mean? And I was like, you didn't want to talk to me, and I finally took the hint. Like, oh, he doesn't want to talk to me. He doesn't want to see me. That's why I didn't pop up. He's like, oh. And then we started dating again for a couple of months. So it's stupid, but Comedy Knockout.
Yeah, I was like, was this all on Knockdown?
No. I only said that to preface. This is a long, just deep, drawn-out fucking thing, and then I dated his friend. That's a whole other thing. So I'm good for a story. I know what I'm doing. So the reason he didn't speak to me now is because on Comedy Night, said What Not to Say. And the first thing I said was, I think it was like, because it's on my Facebook, because I'm like, I'm going to make this fucker famous. It's the first thing, because you come on to say 2 things. And I said, hey, girl, look, I got this dipstick. Let me check your oil. Cute. Very cute. Very cute. Then the next thing I said was, hey, girl, let me fix your car for cigarettes and food and give you mediocre sex for 9 years. And everybody went, ah. And I was like, I used to date a mechanic. He broke my heart. And then I went back. Oh. And I know he watches the show. Yeah. Oh. And
could have been another mechanic.
He knows who he is. He knows who he is. And then it was like, because I was like, I don't know if this is going to get on the show after I said it. Yeah. And Damien was like, well, what happened? I was like, I used to date a mechanic. He broke my heart. And I'm like, oh, now everybody knows. Yeah. And he knows that he is referred to as the mechanic, because one day I was at his house and he had made me very upset. And I went down and I was like crying, and I went down in the car, and I got to the car, and I was like, wait a minute. I'm going to go home and cry and be very sad. And he's going to go to sleep and feel nothing. That can't happen. So I went back in the house. So I knocked on the door, he let me back in. And I told him to call my phone. And I had a recording of my voice saying, this is a do not answer number calling you. It was a recording of my own voice as his ringtone. And so we had this long, I can't remember what we were arguing about, but I remember walked back and I said, call my phone. He's like, why? I said, call it. So that plays. And he's like, why am I saved like that? And I was like, oh, and none of my friends know what your name is. They only know you as the mechanic, and that's how you're saved on my phone. Have a nice night. And then I fucking left. And that was like year 2.
Yeah.
And then
Still around. Still around.
what do you
Still
want?
around.
What do you want from him?
Oh, nothing. I'm done.
So okay, are you?
Of course. But also, this is ridiculous.
And soon you're gonna have the
And-
doctor,
Right. But
the
this is
Jewish
also,
doctor.
But this is also ridiculous. And like my entire 20s was back and forth with him. My entire 20s.
Except for the 1 year.
Except for like the 1 year.
Yeah.
But we were still in contact.
Right.
I didn't really call him. It was every once in a while.
He
It
was like, "How's your car?"
sometimes. Or it was, hey, what's up? Because the thing is, we were still friends. Mm-hmm. So even when we weren't, like, I guess, quote unquote, dating, we were still friends. So I would still hit him up just to see how he's doing, just because I know he can't process emotions. And even when he finally did talk, I was the only person he would really talk to, and he'd just give me the littlest bit of information. But I know there was one time where we really were like, all right, this is what we're doing. I came up unannounced because he made me mad, and he opened the door and he was like, hey, and I was like, okay, this didn't work. He's way too happy to see me. And he was like, how was rehearsal? And I was like, what's wrong with you? Because I was stage managing a show. He never asked me about, and this was before I started doing stand-up. It's probably like 2008. He never asked me about any of that shit. So I was like, what the fuck is, yeah. I was not understanding. I was so mad at him because it was just the back and forth bullshit. And I was like, we need to talk. And he was like, ugh. And I was like, Nick, come on. So we go to talk, and then we'd have these long marathon conversations, and nothing would change. And I had been in rehearsal all day, and I wasn't in the mood. And I just said to him, you give me ugly girl problems. He was like, what? I said, you give me ugly girl problems. I'm too fucking beautiful to deal with this. Act right or I'm fucking gone. Do you want a beer? And he's like,
Do you want a beer?
Do you want a beer?
yes.
Are you hungry?
Are you hungry? I mean, because that's just like one time a bunch of his friends were over at the house, and because I knew how he stood up by what he was about to do. So I knew how he stood up. He was about to go to the bathroom. He was about to go to bed. He was going to go to the kitchen. He was going to go downstairs. I knew what he was going to do, just how he stood up. And I was hanging out with him, and a bunch of his friends were over at the house.
So you are married.
I guess I was. His house was a fucking game room because all his friends were like, why the fuck you never go anywhere? He's like, why should I have a pool table? I have a pool table in the garage. I have a poker table in the living room.
You got a lot of tables.
Right. He's like, I got this giant video game system. He just made his house into a fucking Dave & Buster's, so he didn't have to go anywhere.
Then he couldn't afford a sandwich or
And
cigarettes.
then he couldn't afford a fucking sandwich of cigarettes, and then I roll in with like a roast chicken and some shit like, hey, buddy. And I remember I got up and I was going to get him a beer, and then I said to his friends, hey, you want anything? And they're like, no, we're good. And then I go in the kitchen, I hear his friend go, how you get her to do that? And he was like, what? And I hear this conversation. I come back in, he's like, nah, man, it's just like, well, my girl don't say nothing, man. Like, she don't ask my friend, like, how you get her to do that? And he's like, she just does it.
Because you're a decent human being.
I'm getting up.
Yeah.
It's like common courtesy.
Right, I'm getting up. Somebody's rolling a blunt. You're playing a fucking video game. You want a beer. That's all I did. This dude was just fucking amazed. But, I mean, he showed up sometime. Like, my mom kicked me out, and I stayed with him for a week. So.
Why'd your mom kick you out?
Oh, she just was, it was a very weird situation. I wouldn't go with her to a fucking furniture store at 9 in the morning on like 7 in the morning on a Saturday. I did shows all night. I worked there. Like, I worked during the day, did shows all night. I was fucking tired. I got to pee. And she was like, hey, come to the furniture store with me. I was like, it's not open. No. There were 2 other times she attempted to kick me out, but she was like mad and yelling, and then I would leave and she'd come back. She's like, you're fine. But I knew she didn't mean those because she was yelling. Mm-hmm. But this time she was super calm, and I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm kicked out. And she was like, yeah, you don't live here anymore. And I was like, what happened?
Like, she didn't even yell it at you?
No, she's like, I just got to pee. I'm homeless. And then I would pay her in cash. I'd pay her half the rent and stuff in cash.
You had to pay to live with your mom?
Of course.
Okay.
I started paying when I got out of college. No, she's like, you live here. Because this is when I had moved back in with her because she retired from AT&T and was going back to school. So the reason I moved back in with her. No, this was before that. I just moved back in because my friend moved out of our apartment. So I'd give her half of the rent, and I guess she still had the cash because she prorated me. She's like, well, okay, today is the 9th, so here you go. Gave me the difference
Oh, that was nice
back.
of her.
She's insane, dude. Gave me the difference back. Mine had 2 cats, right? And I was like, where are my cats gonna go? She's like, oh my God. She's like, you can stay with those extended stay places. And I'm bawling, crying, going, do you know what kind of people stay in those places? Why would you ask me to do that? So, but then it's Atlanta, so it's Saturday morning. By Sunday afternoon, I had an apartment.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
I
say.
know.
There was $99 deals.
Well, yeah, I just moved into an apartment because I had a job.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't gonna be ready till the end of the month. So I called the mechanic. I was like, my mom kicked me out. He's like, all right, you can stay with me. Now, mind you, the following Saturday, he kicked me out. Right? So, because he wouldn't let me be in the house if I wasn't there. If he wasn't there, I couldn't be in the house.
This guy sounds not...
Oh, he's trash. And mind you, I'd known him for 3 years as of this point. This is 3 years that I've known him as of this point. So Saturday morning, he gets up to go to work, and he's like, all right.
Is he autistic?
He's just an asshole.
Oh.
What
Okay.
is it? Can I, like, you seem like a very strong, independent, intelligent woman. Like, what is it about, like, where you keep reacting to this? Like, I feel like he does something, and then you react instead of, like...
Well,
like
but the thing is, because I said to him one day, we have an emotionally abusive relationship.
Yes.
And his response to me was, I never hit you. And I was like, one, do you think if you could have hit me, you'd live to see today? Because my mother would be up here so fast to shoot you, and I would help. I was like, no, it's not what... I said, listen to the first word. Emotionally abusive relationship. So we were both going back and forth with each other.
Did you ever go to therapy?
Oh, no, grandparents money for that.
Because when I went, they kept telling me that I was trying to recreate something like you didn't have a dad or whatever happened with your mom.
The reason I realized this afterwards, what I was trying to recreate was how he felt about, because I remember how he would look at me when we first met. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I know that I can get this back. That's what I was trying to recreate with him. I was like, okay, I know you care. Like, it was like the stars in the eyes, all that other shit. I was like, okay, you felt like, because I knew he loved me. He never said it. But I was like, okay, we're going back and forth. I know that there's something about me that he wants. Because it was also with him, it was, he didn't want to be with me, but he didn't want me to be with anybody else. That's what his deal was. Because he told me. My deal was, okay, I can figure this out. I can do all, like, I've got to fit, like...
Yeah, but with all the signs with, like, him disconnecting from everyone, you could tell that he was not able to have a relationship.
Right, but I was also 24, and I'd only had one... As of that point, I'd only had...
So it was like your
But
first...
you're still talking to him now.
Now.
No, I'm not talking to him now.
You
I
just called
shit on
him.
his
You
whole
just...
existence. No, I didn't call him recently.
He probably loves that. He probably shows that and probably gets laid off.
But what I said to him was one day...
Look, I'm famous. You said mechanic on TV.
That's
She
me.
got me a beer and asked if I was hungry. You want to fuck?
Well, I did say to him years ago, and I was like, you know... Because I kept telling him, I was like, you know, I'm going to be famous. You know, I'm going to be on television. I'm going to be successful. He's like, yes. And I was like, because we don't have any pictures together. And I said to him, I was like, you know, people aren't going to believe you when you say... I used to say some grimy shit to him. We were just laying... I was like, you know,
Why
people...
didn't it work out?
We were just laying in bed, and I was just like, you know, no one's going to believe that you know me. No one's going to believe that you ever dated me. He's like... And he just goes, I know.
You should write a secret, too. To that. Like, that should be like, you knew, like...
Well, I thought the way he acted, like, not being supportive, not coming to shit, was me. Mm-hmm. And then I was on set for a movie doing background work, and I met his ex-girlfriend.
Ooh, he had a real girlfriend.
Yes. So there were other girls that became girlfriends. I was never the girlfriend, but I was around for the longest amount of time. Mm-hmm. Also, every girl he dated looked like me. Mm-hmm. All the black girls he dated looked like me. And all the white girls he's dated all look.
Is he black or white?
He's black. And because the white chick he's with now looks like a white chick he used to date. So it's all that same kind of chubby trailer park kind of white chick. You've seen her. Mm-hmm. Thank you. So
I'm related to most of them.
Not being hateful, just stating facts. Because the one girl he dated looked so much like me that he had a picture of her that was just out. and I looked over and saw this picture and go, when did I take this
that?
picture? And then I picked it up and was like, oh, fuck, this isn't me. So, yeah, I'm the prototype.
He's gonna use that picture and say it's you.
Yeah, but it
and
doesn't
that
look
you're
enough.
famous.
It doesn't look like me when you're up close.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, whoa. That ain't me.
Yeah.
It's not me. But yeah, I met a girlfriend that he had when I was on set for a movie. And she was like, oh, he never came. And she's an actor too. She's like, he never came to anything that I was in. He never supported. And I was like, oh, this isn't me. Just how he is.
That sounds so selfish.
He's the first thing out of her mouth was when we realized we both knew him. The first thing out of her mouth was, he's the most selfish person I've ever met.
Yeah.
But he built that bar.
He built that damn bar. And he built a Dos Equis poker table. That shit was nice. He built a headboard for his bed and lights built in, all kind of shit. I mean, he can make shit. Very mediocre sex.
Well, on that note, you ever use a bidet?
Did he have a bidet?
I've used one once. I was staying in a nice hotel, like Chateau Elan, and I don't think it was like the water pressure was right because I just felt like I was putting my ass over a water fountain.
Someone just spit it on you?
And it was just like, I mean, it was a very, like, if I was drinking from it directly,
You can.
No, you can't.
You can.
It's toilet water.
No, it's not. It's hooked up to an outside line on that.
But it sits next to the toilet.
You could drink at it because if you go to
Tushy.me,
Tushy.me, get yourself a bidet using the
Promo code.
I call it the passcode a lot. Happy butthole.
Listen, I don't know how Chateau Elan sets up their bidets.
Yeah.
All I know is it's right next to a toilet. There was a telephone
you
in
need
it.
to get one in Astoria. Oh my God.
great.
Through our company, we'll get you.
we'll get
Listen,
you one.
I don't know. I mean, do you just put it on
It's
top of your
unbelievable.
current toilet?
Yeah.
It goes between the
Yeah.
actual like seat and then like the seat that flips up.
Oh, like those Korean toilets
Yeah. So
with the nozzle on.
Oh,
it?
it's the best.
It's so
It's
good.
the best.
It's so good.
I just got baby wipes. I don't know if I'm
No.
ready for this life.
It's so much better than baby wipes.
And we're not just saying that just because we own and they're our sponsor, but it's great.
We love
toilet
them.
in my apartment. I've never had a toilet like this because it looks like the toilet in like a high school bathroom. Like there's no tank on the top. It's just when you go like at a public restroom, it's just a metal pipe, a handle, and like a commode.
Oh yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Really?
So it's insane to me. I walked in and I was like, why do I have an industrial fucking toilet?
Yeah.
But
You
the
always
flush
feel
on
like
that bitch is amazing.
Yeah, but you always feel like you're shitting like in public.
Nah, I don't. I mean, I'll leave the door open regardless. I'm the only one there.
Yeah. Oh, you got your own place now.
Yeah, I got my own place. I'm on TV. What the fuck? I look like I have a roommate.
Air mattress.
I am on an air mattress in my apartment. I just moved in not even a month
we
ago.
talked about
Okay.
this last night.
Oh.
Yeah, he's trying to come hang out. You want to come hang out in Astoria? Wait. Why are you doing a fanning? Wait, why have you been single for a long time?
Oh, it's all you. We have.
I have to listen to your entire series
the
of your
whole-
podcast?
No, the third
63
episode
episodes.
could probably tell you most of it.
Is it the lisp?
You know, it's interesting you say that. I don't have a lisp.
Okay.
Yes, you have a lisp.
No, she was able to say it so definitively that I was like, yeah, you don't have a lisp. I feel like if I go that route, I'll be. When I drink,
I
it comes
don't
out
have a
more.
lisp.
I really don't. Well, that word shouldn't be, but whatever.
Well, the word lisp, I heard some comic had a joke about it.
Yeah.
And it was like, that word's the most disrespectful way to
really
describe
is.
it.
Stutter. It's hard to say stutter if
It
you have a
is.
stutter. Yeah.
Chris Brown used to have a lisp, and that shit's hilarious.
Chris Brown did?
Yeah, he did.
Like the woman hitter? Chris Brown?
Yes,
Oh.
him. I realized as a Chris Brown fan, I was like, oh no.
You were more mad about the lisp than the hitting?
Well, it was funny because I didn't realize he had a lisp until they were talking about it on the radio in Atlanta, and they were just fucking with him. Like they were just like, because it was.
Why is it so
Can you
why is it
imagine him
bad,
getting
though?
mad in the with
First of all,
you guys, listen.
it's not that bad.
See, you don't have that kind of lisp.
I don't. It's subtle.
I don't
Like
understand
that,
how lisps
subtle.
happen anyway. It just seems like your tongue's in the way.
Yeah, I say words very lazy. I don't know. I'm lazy.
No,
You have a big tongue.
we
We were doing that. That sounds. If you do that, that makes it sound like we were fucking. We were. No, it was to Rob Hayes.
Rob Hayes was high yesterday. I don't know
my
how we even
God.
got into this conversation. How do we even start doing that?
I don't know.
Well, Rob Hayes was high, and he said something.
Per the usual. Yeah.
Right, per the usual. And,
Throw him under the bus.
hey, listen, he lives his best life. And he said something. I think you think you stuck your tongue out at him, or
Yeah.
one of us did.
And
And he
then-
was like, don't do that. So,
Yeah.
of course, us being comics both went,
Yeah.
"Ah."
That's a big thing with our pod to just see how fast you can.
Yeah, how fast can you do that?
I might have a
She might
winner.
be
That's why
better
she's
than
on
you.
TV and we're here.
Yeah.
It's because I control my tongue. I can go like,
Oh, wow. That's from Miami right there.
I thought it was genetic. Like some people can't. Like my
Oh.
mom can't do it.
That's not really it, though. I'm kind of cheap. I could just go,
That's your lips.
here's a cheesy question. How great does it feel to be on television?
I've been on TV a bunch of times.
Well,
so it's
but the daily, that's like a different thing, right?
Yeah.
No, or it just feels the same?
and I think I never let stuff like that hit me because for me it's just work. But every once in a while I'm just like, oh shit, I'm on a daily show. Like every once in a while I'm like, I was like at Target the other day. I was like, fuck, I live in New York. I'm on a daily show.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's how I feel.
I'm on a daily show. I was looking at Target, like looking at shower curtains. I was like, I'm on a daily show. The fuck did I do this? And then what I hate is like when you get anything like this, you get this asshole comics to fucking message you. Like when I got New Faces, somebody I literally like don't know.
Yeah.
See me a Facebook message was like, so hey Dulce, like congratulations, and I was like, wait for it. So like, how'd you get New Faces? I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking ask New Faces. I don't know.
Be better. Do better.
I mean, hair flip, hair flip, hair flip, hair flip. And then the same thing with this. It's, it was like, comic, barely know. Hey, congratulations on the Daily Show.
How'd you get
That's great. How'd you get on Daily Show? I was like, I auditioned.
Yeah.
He's like, what? I said, I auditioned. I sent in a tape. And then I auditioned in New York. And they asked me to be on the show. He's like, no, that's not what I'm asking. I was like, you asked me how I got on the Daily Show. I auditioned for the fucking Daily Show.
Yeah, but how did you get on?
Right.
How did
you?
you?
And he was like, I did get on? He's like, well, what steps did you take? Well, I wrote.
I dated a mechanic.
I dated a mechanic and realized that I could not live an ordinary fucking life. Because I just had to give up like this year. I really just had to come to terms with myself.
I thought you were about to cry.
No. I'm trying to clear my nose. And my throat.
We're like, oh, it's sincere.
I was like, holy shit.
No, I had to really like come to like a realization that like I can't fuck with poor dudes anymore. Cause for a main thing, poor dudes never have a condom because they're a fucking trap. They're a trap. But the problem is they always have the best. Like Jackie Fabulous is the best joke about this. Cause she's like, ladies, the best sex you've ever had is not with the dude you're with right now. And you see them and she's like, no, fellas, let me tell you who the dude is. And she just does this list of just the most awful characteristics. Like he can't leave the county because he has fucking warrants. Like he doesn't have a driver's license, doesn't have a job. All of those awful things, that dude's always the best sex.
The best.
Because he's fucking to survive. Yeah. He's like, whose couch am I going to be on tonight? Like everybody knows that. Mm-hmm. So, and then I just kind of had to like figure out like, okay, it's because a lot of the shit that I would put up with when I was in my 20s, because, it's, well, this dude wouldn't be interested in me, but this guy is, let me figure this out. Because since a lot of men don't approach me, so my friend was like, what's your type? I'm like, whoever texts me back, basically. Like, that's who I deal with, because like I know what I want. But for a long time, I'm like, okay, I know this is what I can get. Because men don't approach me. And I cannot handle approaching a dude. I just can't. Like, I've done it, and it's been like, the strikeout rate is so high, and I'm like, I can't.
I want to go out with you sometime and watch what happens.
I don't do the best thing. The best
Because you came over to my house one time at a party. There was like dudes there, and you talked to Shane Torres the whole time. I was like, talk to other people.
Wait, your house in LA?
No, my house here in
It's
Park
a
Slope.
rooftop party.
The rooftop.
Rooftop party.
That was a while ago.
Oh, last summer? Last summer.
Yeah, last summer.
Last summer. Oh yeah, I was talking to Shane. Yeah, Shane's insane. Like
Yeah.
Shane, but also if I flirt with any other dude in front of Shane gets mad at me.
Are you serious?
Yes.
There's some hot dudes there.
Don't tell Shane. Listen, I flirt with you all the time. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't work. Why are you flexing at me?
I'm flexing on you.
Oh, we start talking about Shane and you flirting with other girls. All of a sudden he gets jealous. Do you notice that? What is happening between the two of you?
Because men are idiots. It's because I said to Shane. No, I said to Shane the other day. I was like, you can't keep getting mad at me for flirting with other dudes if you're not going to date me. He's like, I thought we were doing a bit. I'm like, we've been doing a 2-year bit, Shane?
Have you ever fucked Shane?
No.
Oh, God.
I thought you were going to say yeah.
I know.
No, and if I had, I wouldn't say, no, I'm not going down like, whoa, no, that's a conversation that
that's
you
true,
have.
yeah.
I'm not that comic.
Yeah.
That's a conversation that you have with only female comics that you trust. In Silky Safe House, which is what we call hanging out with Shalewa, because her Instagram and Twitter is Silky Jumbo. So in Atlanta, we would all go. So it's Silky Safe House. We'd all go, a bunch of female comics, exclusive, very invite only. Would go to Shalewa's house, drink Truth Juice, which is some Trader Joe's wine. She says something else, and you couldn't keep your fucking mouth shut. And that's what you do. It's very much, okay, Silky Safe House, this is what we're doing. No, I'm not telling everybody who. That's insane.
I've been asking Shalay to come over for months. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, she is so busy. That's a weird thing here is that I'm always like, if I don't go on Facebook or Instagram and see who's on a show, I don't ever hear from anybody.
Yeah.
Which is weird because in LA, like Madison Shepard, who is she is the best. She's an amazing person. She's an amazing comic. She, like, it was her or Danielle or when Peggy lived there. Because me and Peggy moved there when I got my apartment. So I was there for like 6 months. Peggy was there. And then Peggy left in August. And then I left like almost a month later.
I love Peggy so much.
Oh, if it wasn't for Peggy in LA, I would have been a fucking wreck. Like, legit.
She's the best.
She's the best. And like the fact that she's not here, I'm like, hurry up.
She's so close.
Come live in my house. Like, I won't. What do you want to do?
I've offered for her to live in my house too. She doesn't want to take like handouts. I'm like, it's not a handout, just come.
She lived with me when she first moved to LA. And the only thing in my apartment was a blow-up mattress because I just moved in. And me and Peggy slept in my bed together until for 2 weeks until my maintenance man had gotten fired and he gave me a couch and a table and 2 side tables and Peggy slept on the couch. But my first 2 weeks in my apartment, me and Peggy slept because the only thing in my apartment was a side table and a blow-up mattress.
I'm saying you're going to have a king-size bed. You're going to have your own bar.
I have a whole apartment like in storage in Atlanta that my brother's going to drive up for me.
Oh, cool.
And then my mom's giving me some couches that she has in the house. She's like, I have so many couches you can have. Like, she's like, you can get these. And I was like, but I don't want those.
And then it's when
like-
someone gives you something you don't want.
And then she found these tables because it's a red couch, right? It's a red couch. Because she like furnished every room in the house way too much. And she's like, she called me the other day. She's like, I found these tables. And I was like, I don't want those tables. She's like, but they match the red couch. I'm like, but I don't want the table. She's like, they're only $200 and they go really well. I was like, I'll send you the money. Just get the couches. I just buy them. Because that's what I do with her now. I'm like, get whatever you want. I don't care.
My best friend sends me like sidewalk stuff, and she's like, "I think I could fix this up and make it nice in your apartment." I'm like, "Where else can I put furniture? We live in New York."
And sidewalk stuff creeps me out. I also hate antiques.
Ugh. I always think bed bugs. Okay, so we got to wrap this up. Where can we find you?
I like that we ended with hating antique. Fucking.
I hate them. It's creeped me out.
Yeah.
It creeped me out.
I don't do vintage clothing either.
Like- See?
Ugh,
And
don't touch me.
There are no plus size
Not
vintage
you, but
clothing.
clothing.
There's none. I know there was fat people in the past.
You know what happens? The vintage companies they won't take
Yeah,
them.
they don't. They only buy.
I tried to
certain
give them
things.
to them, and then they said my body wasn't good enough.
But your body's not.
I know it's crazy.
I flirted with him the minute I met him, and I think I scared him off. I don't know what I did.
I know. I see you flirt with him on Instagram.
I flirt with everybody, and I think that's also the problem. But one
know.
of my friends was like, well, the thing is, you flirt with everybody. So nobody knows what you're doing. I'm like, oh, I'm just practicing. Doing what your boy really likes me.
Look at how cute you are.
Yeah, I'm really good with flirting.
You're like.
Where can we find
Yes,
it?
where can we find
I'm
you?
on, it's
Outside
all,
my apartment?
Hey!
Or inside, I mean, inside,
Why am I outside? We thought that was a good thing, and I realized, why am I outside?
Well, the joke was you were stalking me, but then it wasn't
It really
really.
got weird.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
It's too cold to stalk, plus you have mice in your outlet.
Oh yeah, that you.
I was one
We haven't
mice. I exaggerated. It was
Okay.
One mice. I'm on all of the things, the Twitters, the Instagrams, and Facebook. It's all DulcA Sloan, DulceSloan. Because apparently,
Such a sick name. Yeah.
man. And people ask me, "Is that your real name?" I'm like, "Yeah, my mom's amazing."
Yeah. She knew.
You
She knew you were
Google
going to
me,
be a
you
star.
get me. Like no one else shows up. So
Yeah.
Andrew, where can we find you?
Andrew Collin.
Andrew T.
outside my apartment.
Andrew-
Once
Hey,
you get a real bed.
you're gonna help me move it in.
I said that I had one beer.
I'll help you. I'm better at lifting.
She
stuff.
is strong.
Yeah.
She is big on.
What the fuck are you working out for?
Huh?
You can't help me move.
Listen,
we can't be
Collin.
Andrew T. Collin.
Andrew T.
Ann Collin is your Gmail.
That's my Gmail.
Marshall,
Send an
where can we
email.
find you?
Just a shout out to my son Holden for making first team All-American.
Oh, you just got that time?
best names for lacrosse.
Oh, nice.
First team.
Tufts.
For best names?
Best names.
Like not.
Best names.
It's the whitest thing you'll ever hear.
Yeah, he's-
his name
I
is
didn't
Holden.
say it. I didn't say it.
His
No,
name
I didn't say it. I didn't
First
say
team
it.
All-American,
for
man.
lacrosse at Tufts. It's the whitest thing you can.
No,
ever
but it wasn't just lacrosse. It was in America. All-American team for names.
Aren't
Yeah,
all
that's
teams American?
you. That has nothing to do with your son. And you just named him after a book, Catcher in the Rye. You weren't even
Oh,
original.
shut up.
His name could have been
Son.
Rumor or Scout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was your
Seth-
name in a book?
You could have named him Boo Radley.
Shut up.
You know all the
Shut
names.
up.
I just read that book again.
Sal-
Atticus.
It'd be Boo
Shut
Grupp.
up.
Boo Grupp.
You could have named him Atticus.
Huck Finn.
Shut up.
Huck Finn.
Soundlounge.com.
Beowulf.
Fuck you.
Somebody did. I know someone who named their kid Beowulf.
No.
Good.
That kid must be badass, though.
Oh man, it's with theater kids having kids. It's like,
Oh
this
no!
shit's coming.
Oh God! Or you can follow the show at Happy Never After Podcast
What's
on
your
Instagram.
stuff?
Or you can follow me directly at Mara Merrick.
See, you almost forgot about you.
I know.
Don't forget about you.
I know.
This is beautiful. You went from
How about you?
hating white women to liking one.
No, like
I don't
listen,
wanna end with that,
it's just
actually.
like
Don't
people
end
who-
with that. Take
listen,
that out,
it's like
because-
people who hate black people. It's like I hate black people, but Joe's nice.
Yeah. Joe's fun.
Yeah, Joe's great. I've
Yeah.
been working with Joe for years, but the rest of them, fuck them.
Yeah. Mara's cool. Rate and review, everyone.
Yes, please, and share.
And share.
And follow DulcA. Yes.
I probably won't get fired for this.
Thanks, guys.